just persistent for now, but, since he just paid to have me certified,
Picture with him?
you know what, he'll also do a headshot. He has a whole calendar. He has a whole calendar. Your calendar picture you're running, right? Yeah. Like, no, it's like blurry.
Yeah, they keep it blurry.
He was just like this, and it just like, have a fan with me. Actually, you don't have hair, you don't be worried.
I was here then. I did have hair before I started working.
So anyhow, Katie jumped in.
On request.
The husband was
Don't look at me, I'll have to do it.
so I fly down there, and some deputies were in detention. Orange County Sheriff Department took the training. Hey, I'm almost done. Give me a minute. RJ, we were live down in Owensboro. That's right, Brendan. We were in the county detention center where just moments ago, the fucking man was just extradited down here.
So we need to be able to let anyone know.
Now we hope that the resolution comes soon, but we can update them both live and on there, WCH.com. Go on Owensboro, Jamie will love that person.
He doesn't know how to use
Hang to home.
and he's
Oh, that guy. When he was like, I'm
30 seconds.
the poor guy that was here with us.
And then go
he
finish your
doesn't
package.
understand the press.
Stand
They're trying to work with him.
Stand like them.
On the phone.
Wasn't
He's
good.
like, he's really nice.
So it, I mean, that's similar to,
It's like,
like yesterday, running everywhere. Like I said, I have 200 photos, I need to edit from different events. So today I'm at another 300 photos from stage events. Tomorrow,
I think he was trained, he was supposed to be training a girl in the state last time. No, there was a guy with the state that came to the media thing. He,
Stop rolling your eyes when you call your name.
This is cool. Like one of those, what starts on the drive.
Here.
And then it ends at 5 o'clock on Friday.
the one that Rick said. We have a son, he's 15, this is the last week of school next week. Not cool. So, but anyway. No, they
Last Friday, I stood up here where we announced that we had made 2 arrests in the shooting at Columbia Place Mall, a mom and a 16-year-old son, and we identified 3 other people that we were looking for, and talked about how it didn't matter what rock they climbed under, that we were going to find them, and we did. We found them. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute, but I want to start off with a video again. I think people really need to see this video to understand the severity of what these young people are doing. That's the mom with the baby who's getting gunshots. There's another individual too that's also hiding from the gunshots. These are your shooters. 3 shooters to the right. There we go. We see them start shooting. Notice clothes being knocked off. That's bullets that are hitting those clothing. Just total disregard for anybody. The mom is over here. Another lady's over here. It's them running out. You see one of them's got a long gun that he's carrying. This is them coming in the store. But I want you to watch. There's the mom and the baby coming in the store too. They know she's in there. There's one they're shooting at. Look at the glass break. There's this gentleman way up there in the corner just laying down. He just got shot. Nothing to do with any of this, but he gets hit by a stray bullet. Here they are running out after they've done the shooting and trying to make their getaway. Wednesday, we locked up Mr. Gabriel Davis and Jabari Cornelius for their involvement in it. They were hiding out in an Airbnb. And, of course, the community gave us lots of information because people are sick and tired of seeing stuff like that happen. People are sick and tired of seeing innocent people like that mom and that baby being subjected to these hoodlums running around with these guns and just shooting and not caring. So we got the information. Both of them were arrested. And then yesterday, we were still looking for one, Kyron Richardson. He was arrested yesterday, hiding out in a family member's house. So far in this investigation, we've seized 8 guns that we're testing to see, if they were involved in the shooting. But here we are, same thing, them with guns. Kyron had an ankle monitor on when he committed the crime at Columbia Mall. And again, I'm going to say this about Columbia Mall. This does not have anything to do with Columbia Place Mall. That just happened to be the location that they decided they were going to pull their guns out and shoot. I've seen some posts about how dangerous Columbia Place Mall is, and that's not really an accurate description. It could have been anywhere. It could have been Main Street, Columbia. It could have been anywhere. It's just where these hoodlums who just don't care pull their guns out. But Kyron had his ankle monitor on, and right after the shooting, he took his ankle monitor off. So those who think ankle monitors prevent crimes, you're wrong. They don't prevent crimes. Here's an individual, Kyron, who's 19 now. But this is his juvenile record, which I can't show you because it's a juvenile. First arrest started in 2019, and it just goes on and on and on. Weapons violations, stealing cars, breaking into cars, shooting at people, shooting people. It just goes on and on and on. But he's eligible to be out here in our community wearing an ankle monitor. That's going to prevent him from doing anything else. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. As you can see, this is him right here in another shooting. I want you to look at the gun that he's going to hold up in just a second. That's not him there. He's in the black with the black hoodie. There he goes with his gun. Stop. Look at the extended magazine here. Now, normally a gun, bullets stop here, the magazine stops there at the butt of the gun. That's an extended magazine that just shows you the additional bullets that he was shooting. There was a 70-year-old man who had nothing to do with anything, just happened to be at this gas station, and he shot. There's an even better picture of him shooting. 70-year-old man got shot in the hand. 70-year-old man watched me stand up here last Friday and talk about Chiron and showed his picture. That man called and said, I'm the one he shot. I didn't even know he was out. I didn't know he was out. He saw it on TV that the person responsible for shooting him, he was Chiron was charged with attempted murder on this. And as we see all too often, the charges are reduced. He pled to the lesser charges, gets out, and he's put on an ankle monitor, and he ends up at Columbia Place Mall, where he's involved in another shooting. This is something our community is absolutely sick and tired of. Davis is in on a $75,000 bond, hadn't got out yet. Cornelius is a $150,000 bond, has not got out. Chiron has not had a bond set on him. I want to go to the family tree. This is the family tree. This is the family tree you should be proud of. The mom, who's arrested for contributing because she knows what they do. You know, mom knows all about all these arrests that they've had. So there's mom. She gets out on a $15,000 bond, released 12 hours after we lock her up. So did mom, after being arrested last week, help us find her son? Did she become a mom and say, this is where my son's at, you know, I'll bring him in? No, she never did anything like that. She just continued to condone what they're doing. So her 16-year-old's locked up and her 19's locked up. This is the families that we have to deal with that's in this community that are shooting and committing these violent crimes. You know, I've stood up here many times and said, you can run, you can hide, but we're going to find you. I stood up here last Friday and said that we were going to find those three, that the community was going to help us. The community did, and it didn't matter what rock they thought they were going to hide under. We were going to find and turn that rock over, and we've put them in jail. I hope and I pray that this system keeps them in jail. I hope that this system we've got does not allow them to plead to lesser charges, where they get out and they come out and do something like this. You know, our community is plagued by a very small number of individuals that commit the majority of our crimes. This is part of that small minority here. You know, there's probably about 100 individuals that I could identify in the Midlands of Columbia that if we could take them off the streets, it'd probably reduce about 75% of our crime. They're responsible for it. You've seen videos now too. Chiron involved in one shooting at a gas station, shooting at Columbia Mall. His brother's involved. He has very long, lengthy record. So he's not a first-timer. He's someone who's just going to continue to do this. The system needs to wake up and understand that individuals like this do not need to be given second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th chances, because they're not going to respond to these chances. They're going to go out here and they're going to do what you just saw on these videos. Very lucky the mom and baby didn't get shot. Unfortunately, the innocent man walking through the mall got shot, just like the innocent 70-year-old that was at the gas station that Chiron shot. The man wasn't a target. Chiron didn't care. He was just shooting. And here we are ending up people. So I want the public to feel confidence in the sheriff's department for doing this investigation, getting them all arrested. I want to thank the community for their help in this. You know, I stood up here and said somebody's going to drop a dime on them. There were a lot of dimes that were dropped on them. People are tired of it, so they're helping us out. Questions?
Sheriff, at this point, do we know any information about any of the weapons that were recovered, legally modified or otherwise?
We're waiting on ballistics to let us know about that. The this investigation has been very active. Our priority has been to find them. So we found Chiron yesterday and the other two the day before hiding out. So, you know, doing the search warrants where we arrested them, we found weapons. So our ballistic people have that, and we'll start matching them up. And it just shows, though, the availability of guns. So there may be some of the guns used in it, maybe not. Maybe they trade them off, they get rid of them. There's all kind of sources for them to get guns. Getting guns is not the issue. It's what they have in their minds and their hearts. They go get these guns, and you see what they do when they're shooting them.
The one that was with the family, or the family, I guess, is harboring them, are they facing any charges?
Most likely they're going to go to jail too, for harboring a fugitive. I think everybody in Columbia knows that we were looking for him. I think the family member there is quite well aware who else has been arrested in this, so I would imagine that family member is going to get locked up too. Again, we're holding people accountable who helps individuals like this, either before, during, or after. We're going to hold them accountable and make charges on them too.
You said the individual that was shot called you guys and said he didn't realize that the suspect was still out. How tough is it for you to reassure the public that it's safe for them when you have these individuals committing crimes and being released?
I can't reassure them, and that's what's frustrating to me. I can't stand here and promise you that the system we have is not going to allow them to get back out, because that's what it's done. Chiron is a great example of so many arrests, so many chances, and he still does the same thing. You know, this 70-year-old man who got shot, you know, in his mind he thinks, oh, you know, they shot me, they're going, you know, they'll be in jail, they'll be in prison, I can not worry about it. And then he sees me put his picture up here. That's not reassuring to him or anybody else in this community. So I think that should be a very strong message to our community out here, is this impacts everybody. That man at the gas station got shot, innocent could be. The man in the Columbia Mall who got shot, innocent could be. Innocent people are getting shot by these hoodlums. And so that's why everybody needs to be angry and upset and join forces with us and whoever else to put a stop to this.
You know, Sheriff, one question that comes to mind, several people in these arrests have made bond. What's your position on that? I mean, obviously it's frustrating by the sounds of it, but what's your position on this specific case?
Well, I can't control that. Only thing I can do is say and hope that those who are responsible for setting bond take in account just how dangerous these people are and the history that they've got and what they're doing. And I would hope those people who are setting bond would put themselves in the shoes of that mom who fell on the floor and covered her baby up, or the man walking through the mall doing nothing to get shot, or the 70-year-old man who's sitting in his car at a gas station doing nothing to get shot. We don't think about them enough. We think about these, you know, we want to give these young people another chance, you know, let's let them out. You know, that's not working. It's not working. The only way to keep this community safe is keep these people, and it's a small number, but keep them locked up. You know, Chiron should be serving time somewhere for everything that he's done, instead of having an attempted murder charge dropped all the way down to an assault charge and getting released. That's not appropriate. It's not appropriate.
A message to the young people as school set to end, and a lot of them are going to be out and about parks and everywhere else. Any advice you want to give to these young kids?
Be very careful. Be careful who you're around. Be careful where you're going. These pop-up parties, while they may be fun, we've also seen how dangerous they are with the Blackwood shooting. You know, just be very selective who you're with, because you may not be part of that group that's got guns and shooting, but you could end up getting killed by just being there. So be very careful. All right, thank y'all.
Yeah, I can replay it later. Inside the store with the clothes, or
So the angle
when
that
they're
had to